Hey everybody, it's Eric, 80s Horror Man here, and welcome to shelf number 3 for my horror collection. Okay, first up we have is the 20th anniversary edition of Mosquito. Definitely one of my favorite killer bug movies here, with giant mosquitoes. Next, Ticks, another giant killer bug movie that's definitely one of my favorites. And let me tell you, those fuckers really can move too. Next, the Leprechaun collection, where it's got Leprechauns 1 through 6 and Origins. Origins does not have Warwick Davis. It has a former wrestler, Hornswoggle, in it. But the first 3 Leprechauns I really like. Then when they did part 4, that's when it just went all downhill from there. Next, the Amityville Horror, the original classic. Next, The Exorcist, the extended director's cut version of it. Classic, good movie. They still say it's one of the scariest movies of all time. Next, Camp Dread with Eric Roberts and Danielle Harris. And yes, Felissa Rose is in this one too, and she signed this one for me. I had my friend PJ Souls get this for me when she was at a convention that Felissa was at. Next, No Solicitors, another one with Eric Roberts and my friend Felissa Rose in it. And yes, she also signed this one too. And she also recommended for me to watch this movie when they were playing this at one of the ScareCon events, and I had to thank her for it. Okay, next we have Terrifier. This is actually a very fun movie right here to watch. And yes, I got this signed by David Howell Thornton, who played Art the Clown, Catherine Corcoran, and Jenna Cannell. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Terrifier 2 when it comes out. Next, The Barn. This is actually a very fun movie to watch. This is like a little throwback to the old school 80s slasher horror films. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing part 2 when this one comes out. Okay, next we have is Arachnophobia. I had my girlfriend watch this, and she literally flipped when the spider was like jumping off from the shower curtain rod and onto the girl's face and crawling down her chest when she was in the shower. My girlfriend literally freaked out on that, and she does not like spiders at all whatsoever. Next, Man's Best Friend, in with Lance Henriksen in it. This is actually a very fun killer robot dog movie that came from a genetic research facility. Okay, and next, all the way over here, we have all the way over here, Flatliners. This is a little mixture of horror and suspense. This is the original. I saw the remake, and I didn't really care much for the remake, but this is a classic with Kiefer Sutherland, Julia Roberts, and Kevin Bacon, where they play medical students who want to experience if there's life after death. Next we have is Hide and Seek with Robert De Niro and Dakota Fanning. I have the soundtrack, and the soundtrack is pretty good. And this is actually a very good movie as well. Next is I Am Legend. This is sort of, I think, like a mixture between horror and action. I have the soundtrack to this one as well, and I thought the music was actually very good. But it's just pretty sad what happens to the dog. But I Am Legend, this is definitely one of my favorite movies of Will Smith's. Next, 30 Days a Night. This is definitely one of my favorite vampire movies here, where bloodthirsty vampires come to a small Alaskan town that goes dark for 1 month every year, and a small group of survivors trying to avoid these bloodthirsty vampires. Next, Brain Scan. This is actually a very fun horror movie from the 90s with Edward Furlong, where he ends up ordering this video game called Brain Scan, and once he plays it, he thinks it's all just a game, but then next a murder appears on TV the next day when that murder actually turned to be real when it actually happened in the video game. Next we have is The Craft. This is a very good movie right here from the 90s. I saw the second one. I didn't really care much for it, so I'm definitely not going to bother getting that one in my collection. But the first Craft, definitely a very good, popular movie right here to watch. Next, we have From Dusk Till Dawn. This is another good classic vampire movie here. That's definitely one of my favorites, with George Clooney in it and Quentin Tarantino. Next, From Dusk Till Dawn Part 2, where this is actually not bad of a sequel. I saw the third one and I didn't really care much for the third one. I definitely liked the first two ones better. Next, we have The Faculty. I remember watching this a long time ago when I was a kid in high school. This was like during my high school year when this movie came out. But it's a very fun movie where teachers end up coming from a planet and end up taking over the teachers. Next, I Know What You Did Last Summer. This is a very fun 90s horror movie here. I remember seeing this in the theaters with my parents, and I ended up liking this one. Next, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Not bad of a sequel. I saw this one in theaters as well. I did see the third one called I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, and it's not really that good because Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are not in that one. Next, The Crazies, the remake. I did see the original like once on TV, but it had commercials and it edited out the killing and everything. But I saw this one in theaters, and this one I actually ended up liking. This one was actually very fun to watch. Next, Frozen. Yes, this is a horror version and not the Disney version. This was directed by Adam Green, who's known for doing the Hatchet movies, where three friends are stranded 50 feet high above the ground on a ski lift, and there's like a pack of wolves waiting down below. So, Frozen, very fun movie. That would definitely suck if you were stranded on a ski lift in a blistering cold. Okay, and last we have Signs with Mel Gibson. This is actually a good movie here. And I know that this was a very popular movie back in the early 2000s when this movie came out. Alright guys, so that is it for shelf number 3. What do you guys think? Is there any movies that you liked that you're familiar with? Please let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for some more videos. Later.